It's been a really good full week of earning money this week. Fuel card has arrived, no PIN number yet, and information on how I do my accounts. So thank you for watching. Good morning, I'm Dave, Amber Logistics, and it's Monday, the 24th of July. It's about, what time is it? It's about 6:30 in the morning. I'm headed into my regular haunt to do a day on the old route, ADR route. And as usual, the weather's a bit overcast. But I've had a nice weekend, although tiring. Did a gig on Saturday night with my bandmates. And then on Sunday I was up in Lincoln doing some stuff for my daughter, a new house, a new city and thing that she'd ordered. Put some shelves up, the kind of thing that dads have to do. I didn't get back till about 7:30 yesterday evening, so just enough time to get my stuff ready for work and out I go today. As far as I'm aware, I'm here all week, which is pretty much the same as usual. Although I didn't do a day on Friday, but that was my choice. So, what the week will bring, who knows? It seems to me as though the CX had picked up a little bit when I looked at it on Friday, but it still wasn't all that busy. And again, price-wise, I don't know. I can only go by what everybody puts on the forums and the chat groups. But I still don't believe that you can command enough per mile to make a decent living unless you can guarantee yourself a job back. Otherwise, at the rate per mile that you can command on the CX, and then a drive back empty, no, too difficult. But, hey, that's the way it is. One thing I briefly want to touch on is I've had a few questions about accountants and accounts, how I do my accounts. And as I've mentioned before, I use an accountant for everything. I don't use the apps like QuickBooks and things like that. I have an accountant and I pay a monthly fee for their services, and those services cover everything. That means that they submit all my tax returns, they calculate my VAT, they sort me a wage roll, they'll deal with my personal tax, they will deal with the company's tax liabilities as well. Absolutely everything. I don't do anything. I don't deal directly with HMRC. They do it for me. So it's not cheap, but for someone like me, who one doesn't really understand the intricacies of tax and things like that, and two really doesn't want to spend any more time than I absolutely have to on my books, it's ideal. Now at the moment it's even better because I'm just dealing with the one customer, so everything's done on a weekly basis, invoicing wise, and I get paid off them monthly, so it's all pretty condensed and easy. But still, I don't want to do it, and I don't want to make any errors. But by using an accountant, they do it all for me. So cost wise, it costs me £75 per month plus VAT to use their services. Obviously I use an accountant near to me, but there's plenty of others available near to yourself. Recently somebody had sent me a breakdown of their accountant's costs, and it was considerably more expensive than what I'm paying. So it's a case of shopping around, I think. You're perfectly free to know who I use. I use a company called ATS, and they're in Royton, Oldham. And I've only ever been in once. Everything else is dealt with online. And by so much as the emails, and I also have an app which I think lot of accounting companies use, called DEXT, DEXT, and I just submit all of my invoices through that. Any receipts, the app allows me to photograph them and send them through, so I can get rid of them then. I don't need to keep the receipts if I don't want to. And they record everything for me. Every quarter, I send them 3 months worth of bank statements. So it took me a while to work out how to do it actually, but I don't physically, photocopy and send them. I go into my bank account and upload the last 3 months that particular quarter's statements, and send it through as a file to them, some kind of Excel file. Don't ask me what that is. They actually had to give me the dumb instructions on how to do it step by step. This is why I use an accountant, because I've never been bothered with any of this before. But essentially, for that particular quarter's VAT, I send through the bank statement for both accounts, the business current account and the business reserve account, and then they marry everything together. Anything I've bought cash, as in, incidental items that I've not bought through the company account or I've paid cash for, then obviously I send a receipt for that anyway. But it's all done online, and then they work out how much my VAT is, and they will then say, right, out of your reserve account, take X amount of money and send that to HMRC. And they even send me details of the bank account and the reference number I have to send it to. In terms of wage roll, they work out how much I can earn tax-free, issue me with a wage slip for that effect, and in terms of dividends and tax on the dividends, they'll inform me how much tax I will have to pay on those dividends, and I put that away ready for the time when I will have to pay it. So all in all, for me, it's trouble-free. I can just get on with working, and they deal with HMRC for me. They act as my agent, in other words. So yes, it's not cheap, but there are dearer out there. £75 a month plus VAT equals £90. You can do things yourself and use things like QuickBooks, which is probably 15 quid a month, £20 a month. But you spend a lot more time on your books than I do. All I do is send everything through and leave the rest to them. So that is my way of doing my accounts. I could save money, but this is far more convenient, and I'd rather devote the time to doing something I want to do rather than sit there poring over my books and working everything out. It's far easier. It is easier anyway, because I'm not working on the CX recently at all. So it takes a little bit more time if you're working on the CX and you're doing, say, 3 jobs a day for 3 different shippers, sending off 3 different invoices. Although we don't physically send them off, because when I generate the invoice on the CX, a copy automatically goes to the accountant. I put that on, when you put the people where it goes to on your CX thing. But chasing money from 3 different shippers, etc. So at the moment, everything's really streamlined for me. But that's what I do. That's what I do when it comes to accounts. And yes, I know I can save money to do it myself. But 1 is, I don't want to spend the time on it. And 2, my tiny brain doesn't want to deal with it either. My tiny brain can only concentrate on 1 or 2 things at once. And I know my limitations, so I employ an accountant. And of course, the cost of the accountant comes off the company's tax commitment anyway, doesn't it? So that's the way it is. So anyway, that's what we do. Just wanted to let you know because I've had a few questions about that. I shall let you know how the week goes, and I hope everybody has a good week. Good morning, Wednesday, 26th of July. It's about 6:15 in the morning. I'm going in a little bit earlier than I have to because I've got some returns on board that I want to get off. And I like to do my van checks when I'm in the yard, simply because of space and everything there, and they've got lots of kit there as well, which is handy. They don't mind me using. So I get in a tad earlier, plus it gets me run ready earlier and hopefully get away earlier. Though there has been a little bit of disparity yesterday between the drivers of the people who work for, that is employed drivers, and not me personally. It's just that somebody in the office somewhere has let them know just how much per day I get when I come in to do a run for them, which has caused a little bit of head shaking and things like that. Now that's not my problem, that's not my issue. I have pointed out to them that, yes, if you look at it on paper, it's more than what they get a day, but they get holiday pay. I don't get holiday pay, I have to account for that. They get sick pay. I don't get sick pay. Completely self-employed. I have to maintain, run, insure, fuel the van up every day. So therefore, you need more money per day to account for all of those things. But as people will, and it's just human nature, they then question how much they get. But that's something that they have to take up with their bosses. It wasn't me that brought the subject up. Somebody in the office, I think, has let it slip, and there's nothing I can do about it. I didn't say a thing. I've been going around and still maintain that I'm actually working for Anvil. So they think the mighty rich boss of Anvil Logistics is getting all this money and probably ripping me off too. But I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to, stir the pot. I get on well with everybody there. They're not nasty, but as workers will do, you're always looking for a bit more money. Personally, whether they get great money or not, I don't know. I know that they're on around, 13 to 14 pounds an hour, driving the vans, not the trucks. The truck drivers are on a lot more than that. But the van drivers with an ADR license, but that ADR license is paid for by the company for them. They get, around that kind of thing. Is that good? Is that bad? It's above minimum wage. I don't know. I'm not an employee. I've not been an employee for a while now, so I would suspect, I think they work an average of 10 hours a day. So if you said that they get £140 a day before tax and insurance, it doesn't seem too bad. Everybody wants more, but hey, that's it. So I'm just waiting for my fuel card to arrive now. It's supposed to come tomorrow. I have had all the emails through confirming everything's live and ready to go, and had the link to an app. So the fuel card should arrive tomorrow. So then I'm going to see, is it cheaper or not? It's a twofold thing, as I say. One, help build up the credit references for Anvil Logistics, and two, if I'm on the motorways, hopefully I can use the sites there instead of like driving past them or going in and doing a splash and dash, which was the normal routine. So we'll see. So yesterday I filled up at Tesco near me in Oldham on the way home, and it was £1.41 a litre, which has gone up a little bit. It It was normally hovering around 138, so it's gone up a touch. And then for £2.50 I buy a bottle of Red X, because if you have a club card with Tesco, you get the Red X cheaper, the Red X diesel treatment, and that lasts for you get 2 hits with that one bottle. And the reason why I do that is the fuel additive that it is. It's supposed to keep your engine clean and things. And people say, and I am not an expert, so I do not know, but following what people say, the supermarket fuel is not as quite a good a grade of fuel as, say, if you buy it from a Shell garage or something like that. So therefore, you give it a little assistance with the Red X diesel treatment, which puts the additives in for you. Now, I could be talking complete hogwash there. I'm only going by what people say. I don't particularly seek out the cheapest fuel. It's just that the Tesco, it just happens to be on my way home, so it's very handy. So I fill it up, put half of the bottle of Red X in, and that will obviously do for the next fill up. Anything I can do to give the engine a better chance is handy, isn't it? Because you don't want to, if you can help it, wear the engine out. I check the oil all the time, check the water, fluids, etc. But you don't know what's going on inside the engine. If it goes, it goes. I've had close calls with the fuel pump, the water pumps, haven't I? I mean, what's to say if the water pump hadn't fully let go, bits might have gone flying onto the timing belt. But the engine now is on 99,652 to be precise. My mileage has slowed down dramatically. I think if I'd have been still working the CX or working same day deliveries with some distance, not necessarily on the CX, you could have probably put another 20,000 miles on that. Just like my fuel bills come down dramatically. So, hopefully I'm increasing the life of the engine. But it's a different kind of wear and tear, isn't it? When you do this, for want of a better word, multi-drop, the route, obviously you're stopping and starting the engine more than you would do if I was doing some long distance runs. So does that add other wear and tear to the engine that a long distance run doesn't? So even though the mileage is lower, you're probably putting extra wear on your brakes, not just your engine, suspension, things like that too. So each different type of work that you do in your van has, a relevance to its wear and tear. So at the moment, I am saving masses of money on fuel. But am I putting wear and tear on other parts of the vehicle, the running gear, clutch, etc.? I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. It goes in on Monday for a service. Having some new pads put on the front, discs if they're needed, and they'll give it a health check as well while it's in. Go over anything that they say may need to be done or I should keep an eye on and things like that. I don't skimp on it. I never have. If the van needs something, it gets it done, and it gets it done early and in good time. I believe that, it's a false economy to just make do and mend. You should always replace parts that are getting worn out as early as you can, because that small part that's worn out could lead to damage to a bigger part. Who knows? I try my best to give the van the best chance it's got, because the van is my lifeline and my living, and I would like to keep this van until a minimum of 200,000 miles. which, if I'm still doing this particular gig, will probably be at least another 2 years, probably longer. But we'll see. Regulations are going to come in, probably again, non-van emissions. The Euro 6 will probably become redundant, and they'll bring in Euro 7s and things like that. So we'll see. But at the moment, the van is in good condition all round. It looks decent. Why not keep using it? There are other vans I would like, but there's no point, because there's nothing wrong with this one. So that's me now. Gonna work. I'm working all week on here, by the way. They've asked me to stay on all week, and at the moment, especially with holiday periods coming up, touch wood, they'll keep me coming in. You guys out there working on the Courier exchange, you know, it's a struggle. I think it's a very, very lean time, not just on the Courier exchange. I think in general, I've seen word from shippers whose work is down. So I think everybody has got to tighten the belt, and I consider myself extremely lucky to have landed this gig, which has taken a massive amount of worry away from me. Is it the kind of work I anticipated doing? No, it's not. And it can be very tiring, it can be very monotonous sometimes. But what it is, at the moment, with it being a little bit lean out there, is a bit of a lifesaver. And it takes a lot of element of worry away from me. And it's enabling me to build up a little bit of cushion. So I'm going to keep doing it for the time being. As long as they offer me the work, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm almost like a member of staff there now. Anyway, I sign off, and I'll catch you towards the end of the week. Good morning, Wednesday, 27th of July. It's 9 o'clock. I'm just about to head off on my run. And I've had a new development today on this. I think they must be thinking of me for the longer haul, because I've been issued with my own PDA now. So this is what the employed drivers get when they do the runs. It does everything for you. It's got the map into your destinations. And also, it tells them when you've delivered and who signed for it and what time, etc. So they've given me this morning. Does this mean that they think I'm one of theirs now? Am I well in? Who knows? I'm not moaning. I'm just grateful for the work. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday morning. I'm heading in. Last day of the week. Yesterday was a grueler. I didn't actually get home until nearly 7. That's quite rare. And I suppose I didn't have to work as hard as I did. I could have brought more things back, but they pay me well. They've given me own PDA now, so they obviously trust me. And you know, on the days when it's really busy, I think sometimes you just got to put a shift in. So I've done it. So everything has been done. I'm going back in today, hopefully a bit easier today. You never know, because I've not brought anything back to do. So fingers crossed for a better day. Friday can be a little bit challenging, in so much as some of the businesses, they close earlier on a Friday. Not all of them, but quite a few of them. So the ones you know about, you kind of figure out in your route and plan your route round it. But there's always a surprise or two. Now, I'm not working Monday. Van's in for its service, and it's also going to get some new brakes on the front and a general health check. But I'm going to drop the van off over the weekend because I'm not working. The wife and I are going to go away for a couple of days, and we'll come back Monday and pick the van up on Monday. The fuel card has arrived, but the pin hasn't arrived yet. So this, for those who are in the know, is the fuel card I've got. I don't know much about it, I'll be honest with you. I've not really took it all that seriously. Is this fuel card any good? I don't know. apparently I'll get a price through today how much a litre it will be. But on the chat groups, a lot of the people on the chat groups are saying that their diesel prices have gone up quite a bit, and they're kind of almost matching the pumps. So we'll find out. We'll find out. I want to use it just to build up the credit file of Anvil Logistics, but as I say, I've not had the PIN number yet, and I don't know if I need that PIN number. I think I can ring and get it if I'm that desperate for it, but it did say the card will come followed by the PIN. Everything's set up, direct debit, all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. I'm not desperate anyway, because I won't need any fuel until at least probably Tuesday. So we'll worry about it then. So how's everyone else got on this week? How's your week been? Have you done okay? Has it been a bit disappointing? Are you finding it tough? I will admit that I am no longer all that experienced on the CX at the moment. I'm trying to keep in touch with people who are, but because I've been spoilt with quite a lucrative deal that I've got with this, I find it difficult to bid on the CX because the prices that I'm getting used to getting, well, you're just not going to get on there, are you? Let's face it. So when and if this finishes, it might be a nasty surprise for me. But in the meantime, I will milk this as much as we can. But I would be interested to know your opinions on this fuel card of mine. Is it not much cop? Should I go for something else? And also, how are you doing? What are you doing to make it pay? Because I think, you know, things like that help people. And there's so many drivers out there, and there's quite a lot who follow this channel. Sharing your experiences and what works for you can help other people. I still maintain the fact that if you've not already started up in this business at the moment, it's not a good time to. If you're already committed to starting, then obviously watching videos like this and others might give you some tips and information. But in the meantime, thank you for watching this video. If what I put in my videos is any use to you whatsoever and you like it, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the videos get out, helps the channel grow slightly. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to it. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not a commitment of any kind. All it does is let you know really when another video's out, so you don't have to go searching for them. But apart from that, thank you for watching. Please enjoy your weekend. Please drive safely, and we'll see you all very soon, I hope.